Hello and welcome to the stream. It's been a little bit because I've been preparing. I've been learning Blender the past couple of days, and it's a big rabbit hole to dive down, and it's a lot, and I just scratched the surface. I could just not stream all month and just spend that entire time learning Blender, and I would probably learn like 2% of the entire tool. And that's a good thing. Or, I mean, that would be an accomplishment. But Game Like Jam 10 came out, and Game Like Jam 10 is Minecraft-like. And the thing is, I could not think of a better game to learn Blender on. Actually, and this game might be a bit too simple for Blender, but Minecraft is a game where the art is absolutely programmer art. The models are programmer models. So anything that I make in Blender is necessarily going to be good enough for a Minecraft clone. And that's like that. I have to take advantage of that. I have to dive in. So we're going to be making a Minecraft-like. I'm going to be approaching this game a lot more casually than I've the past two jams. Because the Rogue One, I put in a lot of time making content. And, you know, I did get an award for that, so I'm not sad. And then Wolfenstein, I cut a lot of corners and made way too much content, and it wasn't worth the time. So I'm going to be making a lot less content this time so that I can focus on my goals. I am blocking with my face. I would like to learn Blender. I would like to implement at least one Blender shape in this game. That's a little overkill. There's actually some tools that are a lot easier to use than Blender for 3D modeling that are designed for Minecraft likes. I'm not going to use those because that's just not my goal. But if my goal was to win, I absolutely would not be doing this in Blender. I would be using those tools, learning those tools. I'd be able to cram out like maybe a dozen models in time for this. But no, we're going to be learning Blender. So we're just not going to have as much time as we would. I would like to try implementing a shape in Godot. I don't actually know if that's even possible. Can you model in Godot? Oh. I imagine it's possible, but because you can define shapes in Godot, so I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. We're gonna find out. That's one of the goals. We're gonna implement basic rigging. I know you can do rigging in Blender. You can do rigging in Godot. It just has to be Minecraft quality, which means whatever we come up with it's perfectly fine. We're just learning. Hold on one second. Great time to sneeze. Going to be learning how to turn 2D art into 3D objects. This is a thing in Minecraft. Items in that game are pixel art. But when you hold them in your hand, they're not flat. I mean, they are flat, but they're like a 3D flat object. I'm very certain you can convert those in Godot. There might be like a function to do that. If not, we'll just write one. And then lastly, I'd like to implement a minimap. I've noticed that, that's very valuable in these game jams. Is whatever game you're making, if you have a minimap, you instantly get 10 more points than the games that don't. We're going to do that this time. And that is all my goals. So we can definitely do that in a month. So fingers crossed. The idea that I've got going forward, we're going to be making Minecraft and we're going to add a temperature bar. That's it. Just a temperature bar. Why? I don't know. It's not really that complicated, and it's different enough that we can roll with it. And Minecraft has like snow and stuff, and I've always kind of felt like it's kind of just tacked on there, isn't it? Let's just roll into that idea and actually make a Minecraft with a temperature bar. I also wrote a few ideas that would have been cool to go for, but I'm a solo dev. I have learned that I should not overscope. I've learned that every game that I've made on stream, it's so easy to say, I want to add 50 things. I have a month. 50 things means like 2 things a day is a healthy pace, right? And then it ends up that after about 20 things, like I'm out of time. And a lot of stuff has to get cut. So we're not doing any art above 16 by 16. We're not learning art this stream, this game. We're not doing anything multiplayer. I would love to do something multiplayer. I think it'd be a really cool thing to be able to build something and then project that. When you build something, it like gets stored in a server, and then future games grab that thing that's built and use that to build the world going forward. I think that really makes a lot of sense in a Minecraft game. We're not doing that. We're not even doing another thing that might be cool is like some sort of Dark Souls kind of message system where you can leave signs around and other people can stumble upon them in their playthroughs. I think that'd be cool. We're not doing that. We're not making music. We're not adding a lot of content. I wrote the 5-phase gameplay because I was thinking like in my Wolfenstein, like I made 5 levels and each level was broken up into 5 phases. And that's way too much content. I didn't need to do that. So we're not doing that. We're just, this is a really lumpy way of saying, we're going to make the gameplay really simple. You can probably beat it in 5 minutes. And then we're not doing cinematics or a fancy menu. I want to learn how to do that stuff. I think that's very valuable if my plan is to win a game jam. Because I find that the games that do that stuff, even if the cinematics don't make sense, or the menu is just like, you're only looking at the menu for 5 seconds, and then you move on to the game. And then the game is doing the heavy lifting of being exciting. But the games that have cinematics and fancy menus do better. They get better votes. People like them more. So why not learn that skill? But not this game jam. We're not trying to win. Our goal is not to win. Our goal is not even to make a complete game. Our goal is to learn Blender, learn basic rigging, turn a 2D art into a 3D object, maybe add a mini map, and we're done. I might not even submit this. I'm going to try and make a game that we can submit because that's the point of the jam, but no promises. All right. If we're going to make this game, we need a base, backbone, spinal. We need a foundation for our game. So let's make that today. We are going to create a block, fill a world with blocks, and then implement basic character movement. I've done this before with the Wolfenstein thing, because the blocks were tiles that we just stitched together. And I learned something from doing that. In making the game set to compatibility mode, which is what you need to do so that you can put it on the web, play it in the browser, Godot actually sacrifices a lot of performance enhancing features like occlusion culling. So if we just spam our scene with 300, 500 blocks, tiles, whatever, and we don't do the work of telling Godot what to render and what not to render, it will render literally everything. And my machine actually can handle that fine. I don't notice any FPS drops. But if I run to a test machine on another computer that's a lot slower, or if I try and do it on a phone, it's a massive performance loss. So we need to be a little smarter about how we build these cubes, because they need to be aware of when to exist and when not to exist visually, and I guess actually physically too. If a block is not exposed to the air, it should be completely invisible. And that means maybe we don't, so we'll have a scene block, because that's super easy, but maybe we don't instantiate it until the block is exposed. So we'll have like a surface of blocks, and then beneath that surface of blocks is nothing. And when you break a block, the game instantly pops in a new block to fill in the void that you've just created, which hopefully is seamless to the player. And they just, it'll just give the illusion of, oh, there's an entire world in there. But there isn't. It's just there's just a like void directly below the player. Okay, hold on. I have to sneeze again. I have to sneeze. It won't come out. Oh. This is torture. I'm being tortured by my nose right now. Let's just go. And then as soon as I need to sneeze, I'll hopefully lean away from the mic. We're going to implement the universe. That's just going to be a node. We're going to call it game. We've done this before. We know what we're doing. We need to put literally everything somewhere. And it's going to be here in game. Let's save this because, we can call it main.scene. No, we shouldn't. Because I think there's a node above this called root. And if we have root/main/ blah, 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 I'm going to go insane. Root/game, I'm there. I'm on board. But root/main, no. That's we need to implement a world. And to do that, I'm going to add a new scene. This is going to be a 3D scene. Okay, we just need 6 sides. And when we did this in Wolfenstein, all of the sides were facing into the block because the player was inside of them because we were making the level. But this time we're going to make the scenes face outside. The planes face outside. So we need to plane. What are they? Okay, what are they? I do have. Oh, no, I don't. I thought I had Wolfenstein open so that I could see what I've done in the past. Let me just open it right now. I'll open it on the wrong monitor. Why do I have 2 Wolfensteins? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Past me knew what they were doing. I'm going to go ahead and put this on screen over here. This is the Game Jam from March. Levels. No, it must have been item entity. Where did I put the level? UI, sound effects, mobs. It would make most sense to be in here. Cell, that's it, right there. And a cell is literally nothing. If we look at it in the 3D thing, it's empty. But we have a script here that implements. What are we implementing? Walls, which is a mesh instance 3D. Okay, great. Get that out of here. I believe the way that I did it, is because I didn't know what I was doing, but also because my expectation was that these would be loaded once and then never modified. And we are not that world. We are going to be modifying. So, do I need a collision? This needs a mesh. Oh, that's over here. Box mesh? That's a thing? Why didn't I just do a box mesh for Wolfenstein? Oh, it's because, the way that I envisioned it was that we'd put a box and then we'd knock out the faces that we don't need to make like a room. And you can't do that if it's a box, but you can do that if it's quad mesh? Okay, plane mesh. Plane mesh makes the most sense. Let's just check to see what we did here. Mesh. Make a mesh instance. Plane mesh, yeah, all right. That's fair. So we're going to have a mesh instance 3D, and we're going to how to best think about this? We're going to put all of these blocks in the world. Great. I'm glad I could say that. No, we can't put them all in the world because that'll crush our GPU. What we can do, though, is put a layer on top of the world. We can create a 3D array, maybe, fill it with block positions, and then we can go through that array and go, which nodes in this array are exposed to air? And then we take that list and then we implement mesh instance 3Ds with cube meshes. Yeah, let's just do that thing I just said. Let's call this a block. Save. Okay. I don't want to put all of the logic in the game script. I would actually like to create a helper. Let's create a helper. Level helper. World builder. I do like the idea of being able to build a level during the game. So like we build one level and then the player does a thing and then we build a second level and we put the player on that. I like that. But no, actually that's totally fine. It's not hard to be like, this is a level. A level has a 3D array of blocks. And that 3D array of blocks is just the starting blocks. So once we've built the world, we can just disappear. We can just get rid of ourselves. No, that's not true. We do need to stick around, but we don't need to worry about shoving blocks back into this block. We don't have to update this block array. It's created and then it just sits there. Okay, so we'll create a new script. We'll call this world builder. Yeah. Okay. And then I don't think we need to have a ready function or a process function because this is just going to be a 3D array var world array we'll call blocks. And if we want to do that, we need to create a script here. And we just need to extend block. Yeah, that's fine. Class name block. Cool. And we'll put this somewhere in the future. Don't want this to be capital. I need to remember my conventions for naming things. Yes, move that there, please. And then move this here, please. We're good. We've got our helper. Let's make this world builder. We've got an array. It's actually going to be a 3D array. Could that just be a dictionary? Before I proceed, for blocks in game. An array of arrays, array. A grid map? What is a grid map? Node for 3D tile-based maps. Lets you place meshes on a grid interactively. It works both from the editor and from scripts. No, I don't want to build these maps by hand. I want them to be generated. And I'm okay saying they're fixed size. I'm okay saying that this is not, we can't generate worlds infinitely. Let's just go with 3-dimensional array, and then we can change it if we need to. Is this how you define a three-dimensional array? This doesn't feel right at all. Nested type collections are not supported. Hold on. Godot, how do you make a 3D array? There's no built-in native, but you can create nesting native arrays, mapping a flat 1D array, or using a dictionary. Using a dictionary is not what I want to do, but if I have to, I will. If your 3D array is sparse like a Minecraft world where most blocks are hair. I don't think most of the Minecraft world is empty. I don't think that's true. Most of the world is underground. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe like half of the world is empty. Flat 1D array, fastest performance. For massive grids where every cell, I could create a flat 1D array and then just create a lookup. Yes, I could do that. Set cell, get cell. Because we can just say that the world is 64 by 64 by 64. And then if we need to, we can just use multiple world builders. I could just rename this to world chunk, and then a world builder is just a bunch of world chunks. But anyway, there's no such thing as a 3D array in GDScript. So we're just, well, that's not true. Wasn't the first thing nested arrays? Okay, that's not what I'm thinking of though. There's no 3D array the way that I'm thinking of, like in C. But creating a flat 1D array makes the most sense to me. More sense than a dictionary. Okay, so we'll need a const width equals 16, const height equals 16, const depth equals 16. It's all 16. We can change these numbers if we want, but this is just, in fact, I'm just going to rename this to world chunk. Oh, sorry, the height is 64, not 16. Okay, we'll create a function for ourselves. Func set block width, height, depth, X, Y, and Z. And I need to set the block. And also, this isn't an array. This isn't int. This is an array of blocks. Dot set width plus height times how did that work? Okay, sure. Yeah, Maybe I should call these X, Y, and Z. Maybe that's why I'm getting confused. And then I set the make of the block. That doesn't feel right. Oh well. We will get a get block. Let me just grab this. Couldn't I just make this a constant? No, it doesn't work like that. And then we need to build a basic thing of blocks. Okay, it occurs to me we actually don't want these to be blocks because that's heavy. But if these are ints, that's not heavy. We can just have an enum. So like 0 is dirt, and 1 is grass, and 2 is, and so on and so forth. Built-in type cannot be, oh my God. And then we can just have a function where we pass in a level building strategy, like a seed, and then generate the world that way. Yeah, why not? Func populate world chunk. What's the word? Build chunk. Strategy. And then I don't know what the strategy. We're just gonna put a placeholder here for now. For I in width, range width. For I in range height. For I can't be using I like that. J and K. Set block if J. Can I do if 0 is less than J less than 10? Does that work? Nope. Okay. And then we should also have a block definer. What did I have? What did I call that? I don't remember what I called it. That we had a word for, like, this function's purpose is to map numbers to items. It's going to be stat. It doesn't need to extend anything. This is just going to be a static function. realize I've named two functions get block now. Call this block helper. Match num 0 return block dot Can I just return block here? Or do I have to do load? Can I return pack scene? Okay, dot instantiate. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So we've got grass and we've got dirt. So maybe we should say the very top one is bedrock. And then this next one is grass. Whatever. We can roll this out as we come up with ideas. 0 means bedrock. That's probably not good. We should probably start at 1 because 0 is probably going to be interpreted as null. 0 means air. Okay, we got a world chunk. Blah, 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 this. Block. Helper. Can I name this? Yeah, I need to name this. Okay. So we've got a block helper setting this up. We probably want to color the blocks here. Var ret equals block dot instantiate. Ret dot, okay, and I should cast this so that Godot can help me. Something about gizmos. I want to just modulate. How do I modulate? Somewhere, somehow. No, there's no modulate. In the mesh? Material? What's the 3D equivalent of modulate? Write a custom shader. Albedo color. Okay, we can do that. Great. Let's reset that. We are just going to go ahead and, first of all, wipe that out. We're going to change the albedo color. Property albedo color. In the mesh instance 3D.mesh. We can make this red. I don't know. Just for now. And then make this brown. Can I access the color wheel? How do I brown? That feels brown. Yeah, right there. Okay. That's grass? Shoot. How do I make green? Okay, great. So this will create bedrock and dirt, and then everything else needs to be a 0, which I don't think we need to set. Okay. Probably also want to world array dot set size, resize. Is size a property or no? We need to resize. So width times height times depth times size of int. Is that a thing? Oh, okay. We get it for free. There we go. We have our world for now. Now we just need to pop it into existence. Basically, we'll loop through the array. We'll go, is there air above you, below you, to the left of you, to the right of you, to the front of you, the back of you? And if so, exist. Otherwise, don't bother. And if you are air, just move along. Yeah, let's do that. So we have a world chunk. Now let's create a new function, the world builder. Level builder? Does this need to extend node? It probably does. World chunk probably needs to extend node. It does. Good. All right. We have this new script. We're going to not call it that because that's dumb. We're going to call it level builder. All right. So we will take in a world chunk. We should take in every world chunk and then glue all of the levels together or all of the blocks together. But because I don't want the chunks to spawn unnecessary blocks just because they're not aware of their neighbor chunks. Does that make sense? to do, there's probably an easy math function that I can call to be like, yo, check your neighbor chunk. And here's the exact transform to check that chunk. Just go to that chunk, call this transform. It'll report what block is at that point. And if it's air, pop into existence. Otherwise, just forget about it. To do let's just take in one chunk. We'll change this so that it takes in an array of chunks. But I guess we can make it take an array of chunks right now. Chunks. Okay, we'll take an array of world chunks. For chunk in chunks. All right, we need to iterate through the entire array of the chunk. Var chunk dot map equals chunk dot. Oh shoot, I should be calling these functions. So let's not make a variable. Let's just for I in chunk dot width, for j in range chunk dot width. Otherwise, it's going to be really awkward. Range chunk dot height, for k in range chunk dot depth. We are testing to see if we need to instantiate a block. And if so, we need to instantiate it and then we need to position it. Positioning blocks should be really easy. This is a problem every single game jam though, where I'm like, okay, I need to turn a grid into pixels, and I need to turn pixels into grids. Let me just make a function that does that. And I've done that every time, and then I've forgotten how to do it. Because I'm like, well, I solved this problem once, so I never have to think about it again. False. I need to think about it right now. IJK. Var. Okay. Let's just do check neighbors. We can just make a function that does that. If chunk.check neighbors. No, we can't because we need to have multi-chunk awareness. So we can just make that function here though. Check neighbors for air. We will pass in the chunk X, Y, and Z. And then we will, okay. If check local neighbors for air. If there's air, then pass, we'll spawn a block and then we'll add it to our return. What are we going to return it into? A node 3D? It's going to be an object that contains every single block. We need to parent that to the main game so that we can see it. I don't know. Check local neighbors for air. Chunk X, Y, and Z. So plus 1x, minus 1x, plus 1y, minus 1i, plus 1z, minus 1z. If chunk dot get Let's just cast this. Get block X, Y, Z. World chunk dot block helper. Can we just make our own air? Const air equals block helper dot air. That way I can just type air. Or chunk dot get block X minus 1 Y Z. Do. Okay. All right. If air, then we grab our block helper and we say block helper, please. I don't know why I did that. Get block object. Chunk dot get block IJK. We need to set its position before we add it to the block map. Block.position equals IJK. I don't know. How big are these? 1 meter? Block map dot add child block. Okay, we got this nonsense and there's a to-do here, but this should give us, based on what we set up, a big old Node 3D with a bunch of meshes that are colored. And the top one should be brown and the top ones being whatever level I have it set. And then the bottom one should be red. And we should be able to see that if we go to our game, add a script, the game script. On ready, we're going to create a block helper. Nope, just kidding. We are going to actually create a world chunk. No, we're going to create a level builder. We're going to call initialize level. Level initializer. Right? Did I get it right? This feels right. And then we'll call initialize level var block map. I need to pass in a chunk. Do I need to do anything special? I just call build chunk, right? Yeah. Huh. Huh. What I've done will technically work, but I feel like I'm coding myself into a hole. It's okay though. Coding myself into a hole, not a problem. we'll just start over once we realize the problem because we've only been coding for an hour. World chunk is a thing. Just a world chunk. Dot new world chunk. Dot build chunk strategy. Oh, let's just pass in a 0 for now. Oh shoot, this needs to be an array. Yes. Okay, we should see if we press the play button. No main scene has ever been since this one. This is the main scene. This probably needs to be a node 3D, huh? Trying to return a value of type nil from a function whose return type is int. Really? How do I deal with that? What? I thought this was a color. Was I lied to? What is this? What is this? Dreads? Hey, Bone Circuit, how's it going? What is this? Why is this not a thing? Oh, it's mesh dot material. Sure. Invalid thing. Position is not a thing for 3D, no 3Ds? That's not a thing? Did I just invent that? This is returning a block, so we can cast this as a block. We know it's a block. Let's look at this. Oh, this is nil. Okay. If block. Right, because air, if it's air or whatever, we just don't have a block. Do you have a universal shader for this exercise? No. Look at that. We have a world. Let's see if we can look around. Override the in-game camera. Okay, I need to override the movements. There we go. I can right click. So I think I need a light source. So this is wrong. Unless this is actually 16 blocks. This is definitely wrong. Let's go back to our game. Let's add a light source. The sun. Hold on. Let's switch to 3D view. Add child node. Light. Can I do omnilight? Directional light, area light. Is that like the sun? Can I just look that up real quick? Directional light 3D, okay. If your game is going to skip the transparency or alpha channel problem, you can drop the top of the problem stack and not have a shader computation loop back. I don't know what any of those words mean. Just not even close to an idea. We'll just put this up at the top. Oh, wait. Sky mode. Is there a way? Is it pointing up? I want it to be in the sky. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Can we point this down? Shadow on. Oh, there's so many options. I have no clue. Let's just see if this has helped at all. It appears to not have. I do remember this problem distinctly in Wolfenstein, where like, nothing looks right. Oh, it's because there's no light and the light is not pointing in the right direction. A shader made in a particular order doesn't consume energy being the wrong order. -90 transform. I still don't know. I'm still not following. Transform should be higher, but it's always lower. Rotation, that's probably what I want. Nope, that's the wrong one. Z rotation, nope, that's wrong too. There we go. 270. Okay. There we go. Okay, so why is the bedrock on top? Or is this only bedrock? This could just only be bedrock. Wait a minute. Let me see this. Game, how many nodes are in here? I should be kind to myself. Let me be kind to myself. Over here, we're also going to rename this node. Click remote and select stuff. This is the way. Okay, now let's confirm why are none of these renamed. One of them is named Bedrock. The rest of them are not. Oh, I'm renaming the mesh. Damn it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Wait. Why is one of these named Bedrock and the rest not? The heck? These are all have Y0. So I'm guessing these are all Bedrock, but why are they not named? The next time you launch the game at the top left is an option, leave it in the editor. I still don't understand. Okay, why? Okay, if I'm setting this, that's the name of the node. This must be unique. Ah, I see. So I can't do that. Is there a way to following character with an underscore? Is there a way to just give this a random name? What if I just do ret name equals ret name plus equals bedrock plus equals grass? Just for debug purposes. That didn't work. Block bedrock. Ah, I see. Do I need to create a helper function for this? Godot assign incrementing name. press play. The playing window is the island. You can disable that top right. I've pressed play. The playing window is the island. You can disable that top right. Embed game on next play. Game makes workspace floating on next play. I don't follow. Make the game window, disable it, but I want it to be windowed. Disable send tick. What? I don't see that option. Am I being trolled? Second tick. SS play. I got nothing. I'm just gonna keep trying to solve this. Using a spawning counter, I've already done that in the past. I don't like that solution. Relying on the parent-child count. I could do that. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Let's, just throw this idea away for now. I do need to figure out why these aren't spawning. It's probably because I forgot to actually implement that. Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, this isn't right. This isn't right at all. This feels less wrong, though. If I look up here, is this bedrock? No. What did I do wrong? If j is if j is greater than 0 and j is less than 10, then set the block to grass. Why did it skip a whole bunch of blocks? Now the game will launch within the game window and you can edit Swallow's game live. Not a clue. Press play, look at the top right, disable the second tick. Okay. Yeah, but I don't want this. I want it to be on a window. Like, this is not what I want. So I'm not doing that. It's inside the window, you can edit live without the window fiddling. Yeah, but I have multiple monitors, so if I need to edit live, I can just move it to another monitor. I don't want to edit live. That's not my workflow. Yeah. Block helper. Okay, so the world chunk says if j equals 0, put bedrock. Wait, why isn't this? Shouldn't that be bedrock at the bottom? And it's not. Let's print I 0, 1, 2. Let's confirm that we are spamming out like a crap ton of numbers. Format. Oh, you know what? It occurs to me. I know what's going on. The map is correct. The map is correct. It occurs to me now that this function, I'm checking if I'm on the edge of the chunk, I'm actually checking an empty part of the array. So I just need to update this get block. If X or Y or Z is greater than our max, or if it's below 0, just return error. You've done wrong. That's what we'll say. If X is greater than width, or X is less than 0, or Y is greater than, that's not right. Y less than 0. If you put a label 3D into each chunk and have it return information, that'll save you a bucket of editing code. I suppose so. Let me just finish this thought. What am I returning? I'm returning a 0, right? Yeah, return twice. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we've got a hollow, almost. So why is this wrong? Could it be that there's no 0? Is this just an off by 1 error? No, it's not an off by 1 error. Why is never mind. Never mind. Why aren't the sides being illuminated? Maybe it's greater than or equal to. Do we have any bedrock? We have bedrock. It exists. It's just not being drawn. Okay, now let's figure out the gap in the level builder. In the world chunk. This is probably just an off by 1. Yeah, that was an off by 1. Okay. If we go down here, I would like the directional light to light up more than just the very top of the block. So back to this. I don't even know what this means. Makes the light visible in the scene lighting only. Shouldn't this be already lighting things up? Maybe if I change the rotation a little. Make a 3 key light rig light in theater. I don't know how they do it in theaters. No 3D rig lights than 3 directional lights. That's working. So like, $245. Oh, duplicate. 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 $135. Nope. $295. And then add 3 directional lights, 1 forward, 1 down from behind. Oh, I see. Okay, so reset that. Actually, it should be 180, probably. No, it shouldn't. And then this should be along that axis, which means 270. Yeah, there we go. That should do. Well, almost. We don't appear to be lighting up the back. What if I make, okay, so this is 270, and then the other two, I make at an angle. Nope, not that angle. Nope. Or actually, maybe. Nope, not that angle. I want this to be in that direction. Search for 3-rig lighting diagram. Okay. I'm not sure, but 35. No. 45. What was I doing? I've already lost track of what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got down that direction. Oh, we're already covering this direction. We need to push this at an angle. Key light, backlight, fill light. Okay, so we've got down. That's covered. This is not covered. I would like this side and that side to be covered. So if I rotate this 45 degrees that way, and then rotate this way 45 degrees, maybe that'll work. I think that worked. Yeah. And it would be nice if we could get some residual lighting. So maybe if I take this top one or the bottom one and rotate it like 260, like that, and then it'll work somehow through the magic of lighting. Nope, that didn't work at all. But maybe it's fine. Maybe I don't need top lighting. No, that's dumb. I'll leave that for future me to figure out. This is fine for now. We have lighting. It'd be nice to make the top lighting a little more energetic and then the side lighting a little less energetic so that we can see shape better. Okay, whatever, that's our world. Now we need to go a little deeper. We've got a lot of game to make. I need to be able to break blocks and reveal blocks. And doing so, I still don't understand why this is not. So let's maybe actually before we go deeper, let's try adding labels to things, I guess. And figuring out where the bedrock actually is. Nope, that's not right. Set block. Block helper. Here it is. ret.add child label 3d.new dot damn it, you're gonna make me declare a variable. If you prefer super primitive without shadows or realism shading, you can go one light and kill all shadows. Alternatively, no lights at all and using material emission. Performance improves with the latter. Material emission sounds like something I should look into. If it's good on performance. All right, how does that do? This says it's bedrock, but it's red, or it's green. Why is that? They're all sharing the same mesh. I've run into this problem before. There's an easy fix. I don't remember the easy fix, but I know there's an easy fix. Okay. Godot. Per object. Right click on the mesh resource and click make it unique. Oh, we can't do that. It's actually grayed out. Ah, dip. Oh. Mesh.duplicate. It might be, for performance reasons, it might be good to make like a library of blocks and be like, every block, every mesh is duplicated or reused, not duplicated, from this one mesh. Is there a way to do that quickly in code or in scenes? I think so. I think if we just like, so we got our block, we call it block, and then we create a like bedrock that extends block, and then we create a dirt that extends bedrock. It's just a node 3D, right? Drop all the lights and go emission. How do I do that, by the way? Tech from textures. Opening the material, enabling the emission property. Got it. Okay. Let's do that. Change type to block. Yes. Isn't there a way to copy and paste this? Extending the texture by override. Allows a single shader at the start. Material, standard material. We can just set the albedo here. This is bedrock, so it's going to be red. For now. Emission on. Sure. We'll go there. Let's add a new one. Hi, how's the game going? It's just begun. So we've got a long way to go, but making progress. Block. We are a block. Yes, we're going to be dirt. No, we're going to be grass. No, we're going to be grass. Yeah, we're going to be grass. I'm just going to take my Bedrock Mesh Instance 3D and copy it. What's the jam? It is make a Minecraft-like game like Jam 10. Live on itch. I have it up right here. 26 days to make a Minecraft-like. Make this green. That's green. Great. And then we just go to our block helper, and instead of this, just pass in a preload to bedrock, and then I pass in grass, preload to grass. And that's a very scalable solution. But at least we can change this to bedrock.instantiate and grass.instantiate. And then we don't need this anymore. As much fun as that is. Performance. We haven't got enough of those? Yeah. All right, we have bedrock now. Don't worry that it's red. Red is just, it's fine. I need to spawn the camera higher. And also, it'd be nice at this point to just have a little player dude able to run around on top of the level. So let's invent the player. Step 1, invent player. Step 2, player's a 3D scene. Yes, they are. Change this to, was it animated body 3D? Which one is the character? Oh man, I don't remember. Mission Create Halfway. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before I disable all this, do we still have light? No. Okay, so I need to fix something with the mesh. Is it just to be a Minecraft clone, or is there a gimmick? This is the gimmick. It has to be a Minecraft-like. I'm just gonna add a temperature bar to it. The whole point of this is not to make it's for me to just learn Blender and rigging. So I'm not making anything special. I'm just learning. This is just a big old learning opportunity for me. But we are gonna put a temperature bar, and that's it. That's our plan. Emission gray halfway. What is that? look like? That feels like a thing. Emission gray halfway. Let's go. Kill all lights now? There are no lights. I killed them all. It's gray. That doesn't feel right. Let's try updating the emission light. Operator add? Is there a way to just tell it to adopt the color of the texture? Like, don't... Maybe it's an alpha thing. Maybe I need to set the alpha. You drop albedo here and just use emission. All right. That's going to look weird, though, when I have textures, like actual textures. It's another level of energy saving. All right. There we go. Texture can live in the emission. Well, it does appear to work, so we'll go with that. Bit dull. Let's make this a little brighter. There we go. Whatever. Performant, no lighting. Right. We can get back to making the player. So what am I trying to pick? Good luck with the jam. Thank you. Character body 3D. Yeah, that seems right. Specialized class of physics body is meant to be user controlled. Let's go. This needs a shape. This shape needs a shape. Separation ray. Interesting. We could be a box. We could be a capsule. Let's be a box. That feels okay. Sure. Let's also grab the camera. And then I think there's a way to implement basic controls. Attach a script. Template, object, basic movement. Yeah. We've already got UI left, right, up, and down. All right. Now we just need to exist in the world. So we'll go to here and we'll go, good news, player. Let's put you somewhere where you can exist. Let's find the let's find the lowest point at 0, 0 where there's air. So spawn player world chunk. Sure. For now, we'll clean that up. We need to make a new player. Nope, not like that. There we go. Player dot position. Nope, we need to find that. Let's go ahead and let's delegate this to the world chunk. I would like to delegate this to the world chunk. Func get let's pick a random I and a random K. Oh man, stable networks apparently are hard to do. This is, it looks like we're back. Let me refresh this. Stupid lost network. Anyway, back to coding. Return true. Or no, return the position. Else return null. Okay, fine. Return vector3. The width, depth, height, depth. Just return somewhere nonsense. We should do -1, -1, -1. Okay. If there's literally nowhere for us to spawn, just get it. Just dumpster us. It's fine. Actually, x height +1 desi. Just put us above the world, above the map. BBL questing. GL HF. I forgot to do a thing with this. Also, it's instantiate. Player.position equals world chunk dot get lowest air point. Player or add child player. Oh, great. A+. We should spawn the. Well, you know what? That's progress. We'll call that progress. We have created the world. We've added ourselves. We forgot to make the world something we can collide with. Let's do that right now. Collision. Nope. Collision. Layer 1, layer 1. All right, let's go look at the blocks. Dear blocks. Don't tell me that's not part of the mesh. That doesn't include collision. Oh, you wanted collision? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, let's go to our block. I don't actually think this does anything. This scene does nothing because we never instantiate it. Add child node collision. Shape 3D. And it's a box. Oh, it's because this is a node 3D. I see. So these are static body 3Ds. Yes. Change type, static body 3D. I would like for this to exist. I don't want to have to define a collision shape for everything. I would prefer to just reuse the collision shape. Oh, shoot. Add child. Don't make this a collision shape. Box shape. There we go. All right. One down. Change type, static, body 3D. Collision, shape 3D. Done. And then the third one. Let's just freaking copy this. How did I, what? Static body 3D. Okay. Now we should be able to collide with it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We can't do that because we think that we're a block. We are a block. Frickin'. Don't tell me this thing is, What do you mean? A block is a static body 3D. It's true. I just changed that. This is dumb. Oh, blocks. A block is a block. Right. These should be blocks. You know what I could do is I could make this like a component. And then I could just drag components into these and make them that way. All right, anyway. Why can't we move? Input. We can. It's the arrow keys. It doesn't capture the mouse. But we have jumping. How do I rotate? All right, if I jump off the world, real quick, how do I rotate my player? That's just not part of the default. Direction, transform basis. Oops. I don't know. Oops. I should not close my Google. Let me see how did I do this in Wolfenstein? How did I capture the mouse? I think we had a handler for input. Yeah, we did. It captured the mouse and it rotated the camera accordingly. Why is this font like this? Can I just copy this code and reuse it? Is there any reason I shouldn't do that? I have classic input mode. We're not doing that. We're just going to have modern input. Why shouldn't I just copy this? Copy. No, I want to copy the whole thing. No, just copy. Let's make a handler function. Folder. Paste. Oh, dip. I can't do it. Okay, let's just do input handler. Let's just take all of this, copy it. Hey, where's my Git? I don't appear to have my Git plugin installed. Oh well. Grab that. Here we have a player. They're called a player. We don't care about this. We don't care. Input handler is this. Why did I have a reference to the input handler? What? What is this? What is this a reference to? This is just a self-reference? Brilliant. Oh. Look at yourself. Turn yourself off. Easy. Project settings. Globals. Let's create a script. No, let's select a script. We got our handler. There it is. Thus solving the problem. As soon as we save. We got all these functions. I'm not going to worry about them right now. We're just going to make them comment them out. That's fine. We're just focusing on mouse look. We need to set the player. Let's do that. Let's go to the game, set the player, and we're done. Can't do that. It doesn't exist. This function doesn't exist. No such thing as input handler. I've never heard of that in my life. Oh, it's good. Can we not? Okay. The arrow keys work. Why is this not capturing? I mean, there's many reasons why it wouldn't be capturing. Oh, probably never setting active to true. Easy fix. Player.camera direction. That must be a function. Copying myself. Why not? Entity, where's the player? There they are. Camera direction. Oh, I used a marker 3D to contain the camera. And then I rotated the marker through the camera direction. There's probably a good reason for that. So I should just do that. And then I'm pretty sure I added something in the script to make that a variable that you can access. There it is, yeah. We'll just take that line, copy it in. And it works. We can move around. You can't really tell because everything's green. Okay. Great. Now, we need to implement one more thing. We need to be able to break blocks. Once we can break blocks, we have officially started on our Minecraft journey. Breaking blocks is going to consist of several steps. Step 1, we need to look at a block and see what block we're looking at. Step 2, we need to do a check. Can we break this block? And then step 3, or also get the time to break, basically. The break hardness, I don't know what to call it. And then step 3 is begin the breaking process. Step 4, break the block. Step 5, figure out what additional blocks to add to the world, to draw. And then we're done. Those 5 things. I should have written those down. Step 1, get block that we're looking at. Step 2, check if we can break the block. And get its block hardness. I'm going to call it hardness because I don't know. For break block, step, draw blocks behind it. Let's do it. Start with step 1. We need to create a new input. If we left click, the game should tell us what we're looking at. We can do that with a raycast. If dead, okay. If input event is input event mouse button. Let's just define a new button, left click, UI left click. If event is action pressed, left click. And active, I guess. And mouse look is true. Then we do a raycast. There's no way I remember how to do this off the top of my head. There's no way. So let's go to our previous code, look at the player, or actually let's start with the input handler. Go to when we FPS fire weapon will shoot, and then shoot will shoot, which will shoot which will go to the item data, weapon data, actually. Let's look at the pistol. All right. We play a sound for our pistol, and then we result.get collider. Okay, so we have a collider. Where did that come from? Where's the result? Oh, here's the raycast. It's right here. Okay, we just have a cast helper. Okay. Player raycast forward. So we just take this function and steal it. It extended node, but it really didn't need to. I really didn't need to do that. We can just take this function, make it a static function and move on with our lives. Helper, cast helper. Why am I not using underscores in these file names? Doesn't really matter, but it's just all over the place. We're just going to take this function, make it static. So we get the player, which we have. Then we get the space state, which is something we can do, I guess. And then we get the camera direction. We get the origin of the player. And then a basis. And the basis is just the global transform basis. Offset, rotate. Okay, so there's some magic happening here. We can just get rid of all this. We don't collide with objects. I wonder if we just call this function, what are we going to get? Oh, I do need to give this a name. Print cast helper dot player recast forward. We actually don't need to pass in anything. All the parameters are optional, so we're not printing anything. Yeah, we'll just put that there for now. That's fine. Oh, I never bound this. I invented a left click and then I never actually signed it to left click. Yeah. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. That would explain. We got nothing. There's a big nothing here. Well, that shouldn't be. Why are we clicking and finding nothing? Origin is a player position. The basis is the direction that we're looking. Basis Y is a vector 3 dot up. Basis Z, ortho normalized. Oh, there's some magic here because Wolfenstein 3D was a 2D game. So we had to tinker with the basis. Shoot. Let me just do a quick, I just want to make sure, I don't want to have to guess. I'm just going to look this up. Adobe 3D Raycast basis. Basis times the negative ray length. Huh. Maybe this should be basis dot. Maybe this is the Y basis should be the Y cross. No, the Z cross. Dot normalized. Is that right? No, that seems wrong. This seems unnecessary. Oh, but it's working, so I guess it's right. Just go over here. All right, we see static body 3D, static body 3D. So I think we're looking at the, oh, what? Hold on, hold the phone. Wait a second. How do I get the mouse to let go? Oh. Oh no, this is right. I was just confused by the lack of shadow. Okay. No, this is still, we're still good. Yeah, all right. I don't know, that's still magic, but I mean, it's working, so I'm not gonna mess with it. All right, so we've done step one. We've got the block that we're looking at. Let's check that block. Make sure that we can break it. Let's just say true by default, and then in Bedrock, we'll say false. These should not be using the same scripts. Extend script. Okay. We'll worry about block hardness later. Check step 2, check if we can break the block. Let's go to our input handler. .collision.get. Collision? Is that the name of the... It's a null? Nope. All right. What was the actual name of the thing? Why am I... Okay. Position, normal, face index, collider. That's what it was. .get collider. All right, we have the node. Let's call it can break. True. Let's try just falling off the world and false. Oh, we can't do that if it's null. Our collider equals all this. If collider print collider.canBreak. Actually, it's not a function. Cool. All right, so now we won't break the world when we click. Yeah. When we try and collide with nothing. We should also probably do a check, is block. If there's no collider, we're done, get out. If there is a collider, we check if we can break it. If we can, begin breaking the block. How are we going to do that? We could spend an entire day on just making that snappy, because I want it to, the way Minecraft does it is actually pretty good. where if you're holding left click down, you'll shoot braking ray. Your braking ability is on automatic fire, basically. The longer you look at a block, the more broken it gets. And then if you look at multiple blocks, you can break multiple of them. But when you're not actively breaking a block, you lose progress. I think that's just good enough. That's something we can emulate. But for now, to do make block breaking good. We can just say, once you click on it, let's wait 1 second and then break the block. Await timer dot new dot set time. How do I, okay. This is a problem I've asked multiple times. Godot set timer sleep. Get tree, create timer seconds timeout. There we go. Get tree, why? We'll wait 1 second. Then we'll break the block. And then we need to go into the chunk, which we don't have. We need to set that to air. And then we need to pop all of its neighbors into existence if they don't already exist. And how do we check that? We don't actually have a way of checking that. Ooh. We do. There is a way. There is a way. Queue free. But we do need the chunk. We do need the world chunk. So we'll go back to our game. We need to store the chunk. And then we need to when we spawn a block, when we initialize a block, we need to go into the chunk and clear it out so that we don't spawn that block ever again. So whenever we call this function, oh, we have to be careful though, because if we set it to air, then adjacent blocks next to it will get flagged as needing to be spawned. And then we end up losing all of our performance gains. So we need to set a breadcrumb. Whenever we spawn a block, we set a breadcrumb. And then when we're done spawning blocks, then we clear out all of the blocks that have been placed. Yeah. Oh, I'm running out of gas. I don't have enough focus to just like keep going, so I might need to take like a 5-minute like not write code break and just I don't know, play Minecraft a little bit. We've got this in browser Minecraft. I don't know how old this is. That's old. 0.0.23 A1. Oh wow, it's so slow. How is it this slow? This can't be. This cannot be correct. Why? How can it be this slow? Do I have something else running? Oh. What if I just go here? Oh, it's perfectly fine here. Okay. Cool. We got jumping. It's kind of heavy jumping, honestly. Not very platformer. I could make a more platformy Minecraft. Is there any reason not to do that? It'd be more... But better movement mechanics makes the game better, just objectively. So we could do that. This world has... The terrain has a little bit of depth. The world gen at this point was just kind of... eh. Bunch of trees here. There's a ravine, which is actually... Just kidding, this is not a ravine. What is this? Just some water. This is not that big of an isle. But I will say, this is a lot bigger than 16 blocks. 16 by 16. So, I'm going to need to have a lot of chunks, or I'm going to need to make my chunk size huge. I think there's no... What is this? Oh, this is the edge of the world. Yeah, I'll need to have an edge of the world too, for sure. Little particle effects every time you break something. That seems very important. Just making blocks pop out of existence and pop into existence sucks. So having some SFX on that matter. How do I open up the block inventory? Is this literally all the blocks I get? That can't be. No, I would like to stop. How do I discontinue? Oh no. This is my life now. Oh, okay, I just had to left click. Oh, B. What? B? This is all the blocks I get? If I place a sapling, does it grow at this point in the game? What if I jump in the water? We have water movement. We're just slower. And no gravity. Oh, there's gold. And that's not a block I can place. Weird. There's no point in denying that from the block selection menu. What is this? I don't remember this. Oh, that's wool. Okay. Oh, these are all the colors of wool. Oh, I can't even place stone? No, I can place stone. And cobblestone is in the game. I know it would be nice. When I look at a block, it should glow. Oh, how would I do that? That doesn't seem like it should be hard. That should not be hard. Because it's just a case of like maybe every block has an on. No. Like every frame, we do a collision check. If we collide with a block that we are in range of, we get that block, and then we have a selector object in often the universe somewhere, and we just move it to overlap this block. Or could we just attach it? No, attaching it wouldn't make any sense. Does overlapping it make sense though? Okay, maybe there's like an easy function. I'm just gonna real quick Godot. Oh, this is the browser. Godot highlight object 3D. Create outline mesh. Apply a standard material override or a custom glowing shader to your meshes 3D when the player's mouse hovers or raycast detects it. You can turn the highlight on and off via code using built-in mouse entered and mouse exited signals. I don't think that is a thing that meshes have. What signals? Nothing to do with the mouse. No mouse here. We could just have like a have one object in the input handler as the highlighted object. And as we move the mouse around, we do a raycast to update that value. And when we update it, we also clear out the previous one and we say, stop highlighting yourself. That should be pretty easy to do. We can even like put it in here. Cast replay, raycast forward, get collider. Okay. Var object. Set X. If observed block. Okay, first of all, if X is not equal, if X equals observed block, we're done. Don't set it twice. If observed block dot shoot. Using material override. We're already using material override. Can we add a wireframe? What was the thing about the making it have a wireframe? Select your mesh, create outline mesh. Can we just go to our block function and make that have this function that we need? Block, mesh. Of course. Select your mesh, then go to mesh, new transform and view, create outline mesh. This must be an old ass Godot because that's just not correct. Use a material override equipped with a wireframe, standard material 3D. This lets you toggle the highlight on. I could just have a second mesh and then toggle it. That's totally fine. But how do I make this a wire? Albedo color. Since blocks are always the same size, I could just make a wire block and then just a wire frame selector. And then just move its position to equal the position of whatever I'm looking at. Which seems really silly. But I don't know how else to do this. I just do it. If I got an idea how to do it, I should just take it. Make a new folder, UI. Selector. Mesh, instance, 3D. We're going to go ahead and add a box mesh, and we are going to give it a texture of, I don't care, material. Can we set its alpha to like really low? And then, I don't know, make this 0.1. Just slightly larger. And then we will hide this. Whenever we're not looking at something, we will make it visible whenever we are looking at something. And we'll put this in charge of the input handler in charge of this. When we set the player, let's also create a selector. We need to attach it to the game. I can get the game. And there's a game jam, so I can be sloppy and it's fine. What was this supposed to be? Oh, I'm in the middle of writing this. All right. If observed block, if x, if observed. All right, if the observed block exists, then the, did I not define it? Did I get rid of it? Oh, damn it. Highlighter, what did I call it? Selector. Node 3D. So the selector is, if there was no observed block, the selector and X. Then the selector is invisible and we need to make it visible. Selector position equals x.position. If observed block and not X, then we need to make the selector equals false. And then we just set that up. So the selector should now move with whatever we are looking at. And if we're not looking at anything, then it should just pop off, go where it's needed. So when we create this, we'll also selector equals load. That instantiate. No, initialize. No, it is instantiate. Also selector dot visible equals false, and then we'll. That is not at all what I wanted. And then we will get node root game. Add child selector so that it's visible in the world. We're not actually using it yet because we're never setting this observed block. But what if collider is block, observed block equals collider? All right, this should actually work now. I don't, oh, okay, well, that's not what I wanted. Are we confirming that this is updating? Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, so are we confirming that this is updating? Oh, yes, that's right. Else observed block equals null. Okay, well, I see the problem. We never update the selector position. Okay. Now it should, there we go. Okay, so the block update is working, but that does not look right. That does not look right at all. I want this to be mostly transparent. Why is it not transparent? I set the color to mostly transparent. This must not be the right thing. Apply material, enable transparency, and lower the alpha value. Transparency. Well, there you go. It's just as easy. It's just, transparency is true. Okay, great. We did it. Now let's see if this works. Oh yeah, this works. Great. And we look away and we look at it. I love it. All right. I am going to stop here because I'm actually out of time. I did not get to break the block, but hey, you know what? Next time we can just focus exclusively on making that experience as snapping as possible, because that's important. And we'll have the time to do that. So we'll do it. I wonder. So breaking that block is just a matter of just like spawning a bunch of tiny particles and just scattering them wherever. That's just random, right? Actually, I think doing what I just said makes the most sense, because there's some physics interactions. But I was thinking, well, what if instead I pre-bake that in Blender, and then just have like a break block animation that I apply? But no, because there's some physics interactions. I don't think there's any way to make that happen without doing all the work in Godot. It's fine. Oh, the grass moves. Cool. Neato. So we made some progress. We're not breaking blocks yet. And the world right now is flat and boring. And I will work on getting it. What? What the heck? What? How is this? What? Why is there a hole in the world? Why are things getting freed? Oh, it's because I'm left clicking. Attempt call function queue free on a freed instance. Right. All right, that should not happen. 1 second. Right. So we did implement block breaking. We just didn't implement spawning the next block yet. Ah, perfect. Yeah, we'll need to make that a lot better and also figure out this queue free nonsense. Next time, block breaking, get it in. That's it. That's the only goal. This week we're going to make the base bones of the game. That's all we're focusing on. Anyway, I'm going to bounce here. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hope your game dev is going well. Hope you're playing lots of fun games. Hope things are going well. See you all next time.